Controlled by Texas. Bumps that left. Sermay, the big swing. Controlled by the Husker dig. Nebraska's going to get a swing. Outside. Kelsey feed. Off the block it up. They did it. Nebraska national champions. Nebraska's a national champion.
My first year here, we went undefeated and won the national championship. So I'm thinking, yeah, I got this figured out. This is easy. You know, and then when you get your butt kicked a few times, you're like, whoa, I don't even know if I know how to coach anymore. Well, the expectations never change here. You know, compete and try to win a Big Ten championship. The Final Four is in Omaha. We got to get there and go for it. Try to win a national championship in Omaha.
She did it! Can you believe it? Oh, the grandkids! That's number 5. Nebraska wins its 5th national championship.
This is an incredible experience for our student athletes. It's a great statement for our sport.
It shows that Big Ten volleyball is growing. It shows that coverage of NCAA volleyball in general is growing at such a fast pace. And Nebraska volleyball from the beginning, from decades ago, has set the precedent for volleyball. In terms of coverage, they are one of the most well-covered volleyball teams and programs in the entire country. So it just shows how big the support for Nebraska volleyball is nationwide, but especially at the local level.
You want to win, price to pay. That's where we get to start paying it right now. Okay? Every rep is a mindful rep. Every rep is making us better. You got to push yourself to be a treasure every time you touch that ball. You get to make a play, all right? So the key is, can mentally we do it for 5 hours today. That's what our challenge is. All right, so bring the energy. We got a great, today is a first contact practice, which means we're not jumping. We jump just a little bit, and we'll jump a little bit when we serve. Otherwise, it's all about first contact, which is serve, pass, out of system set. Pretty much it. We're gonna work on some footwork and some patterns in the middles, but it'll be nice and controlled. Okay, here we go. Oh! Nebraska.
Huskers!
Every year is a new adventure, new team, and new journey, and you can't say, oh, this is what we did last year. And
we have to take into account last season just because we have so many young people on our team, and we don't want any of our young people to think that we just end up in a national championship on accident.
I just think that experience is going to help us this year, but at the same time, we don't want to bank on the fact oh, we made it last year, we'll make it this year. It's like a completely new year. We have such a new team.
Recognize that this is an entirely new season and everyone's starting fresh, and use it as fuel, but definitely recognize that this is a completely different season.
That's one area we can get better from last year is our transition game. We can score more points in transition, base level of where we need to go, and it's got to be better and better every day. But you guys did some good stuff in there, but you can see a lot going on in that drill. It's fast, and we've got to get really good at that.
I think right now we're a very raw team. We have Caitlin Horde just was training at a different college for 4 years.
Caitlin Horde from Penn State is one of the best players in the country, in my opinion. She's a 4-time All-American. She is great defensively, offensively. She was a really big get for them. They need some production out of that middle.
She definitely is a wise player. You can tell that she's played at a high level for a long time, and I think she's going to really help lead this team.
I chose Nebraska just because it's a very genuine place. Everybody's here for the athletes. They want to see them succeed, so I think it's a great place to fall back in love with the sport.
We've had teams with more talent, we've had teams with less talent. It's all about who's going to be the best team, and are they going to play with ultimate trust.
We have a lot of great pieces. We have a lot of just amazing athletes in general. If we can get our relationships to translate from off the court, on the court, I think we'll be extremely successful because we'll be able to trust each other, and just translating those relationships will help us succeed a lot.
So today's our volleyball production day, which is kind of a combination of Husker Vision and creative and emerging media. So we're shooting intro video content, social media content that'll be played during games. This year, as you can see, is like medieval themed, specifically Red Kingdom themed. And you can thank Coach 𝐓𝐡𝐞 for coming up with that idea.
Red Kingdom. So get ready for the Red Kingdom.
Did I put it on right?
Yeah.
Every year I give our athletic director a 5-year plan for Nebraska volleyball. And one of our goals in there is to have the #1 student section in the country. So I want to do something to really energize them and make them feel special. And that's how we came up with this Red Kingdom, the song which they'll lose their minds over.
I mean, it kind of started last year, like towards the end of the season, just like that being our like walkout song or song that played during the Final Four. And so I think it's pretty cool that he's like really diving in, trying to make the most out of that theme.
Rap. That's a rap.
We sold out every match here in Devaney. Everybody loves being in here, and again, we made this a great volleyball venue. I think it's one of the best volleyball venues in the world.
To make it to Omaha back to the NCAA Final Four, I think Nebraska needs to stay consistent. And a lot of that comes from those younger players playing consistent. But if they can play consistent day in and day out, week to week, I think they have a very good chance of making it back to Omaha.
So that's kind of been our theme that we've used ever since January, is everything we're doing is going to try to give us the confidence and the courage to win those close games and those big points. And we've challenged some players that they're going to have to come up with that and make those plays and trust it.
I think we have to play with ultimate trust, and I think that encompasses a lot of different things. I think playing with ultimate trust looks like grit and hard work and great effort, but then also leaning on each other and working together and out-teaming people is playing with ultimate trust to me. And I think that was what got us so far into the tournament last year, is our ability to do that over a long period of time. So I think if we can create that atmosphere, then we're going to be really successful.
This team has a lot of the same pieces, so I think gel-wise, as long as they have the same level of communication and support and confidence in one another that they had last season, I think that they're going to be really successful. Just all the way around, they have every spot covered. So I think this roster is going to be really, really good. I think if they didn't have Caitlin Horton there, it'd be a big question mark, but this team's going to be good.
You know, leading with your heart, playing with your heart for Nebraska volleyball. And if we can get that, that can become a very powerful part of our team and program to help us accomplish our goals.